Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Okay, so today we're taking a look at this DeNet storage protocol.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I got some documentation you sent over from DeNet docs.
Okay.
And, ditching these massive data centers, Google, Amazon, all those guys,
Right.
and going to this decentralized network. I mean, that's a pretty wild idea.
Yeah, it's pretty radical when you think about it. Like
Yeah.
completely changing how we think about data storage.
And they're leaning pretty hard into all the Web3 stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Blockchain, smart contracts, it's all there. It's like they took the Web3 playbook and applied it to data storage.
Okay, see, that's where I kind of get lost. I mean, I hear blockchain, but to be honest, it's always been a bit of a buzzword to me. I never fully grasped how it actually, works.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing at first. Basically, think of blockchain as like this giant digital ledger. It's unchangeable and it's distributed across the entire network.
Okay.
So every transaction on DeNet, like who's storing what file, how much they're getting paid, it's all recorded on this blockchain. And because it's not just held by one company,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible to tamper with, like way more secure than traditional systems.
So it's like a super secure and transparent record-keeping
Yeah,
system.
exactly. No more shady dealings or single points of failure.
Gotcha. Okay, and the docs also mention these smart contracts. What are those all about?
Smart contracts are basically like self-executing agreements between users and storage providers.
Yep.
So they handle things like payments, making sure the providers get paid,
Right.
data access permission, so only the right people can get to the files,
Yeah.
and even penalties if someone tries to cheat the system.
Oh, wow.
And it's all coded in, so it's all automatic. It's way more efficient and trustworthy.
That actually makes a lot of sense. But, okay, I got to ask, if my data is, spread out across all these random computers, how do I actually, get to it when I need it?
Right.
And is it really safe,
So that's where DeNet gets really, really interesting. When you upload a file, it's not just stored on one computer. It gets split into these encrypted fragments,
Okay.
and then those fragments are distributed across the network. And get this, they use redundancy. So each fragment is stored on multiple devices.
Smart.
Yeah, so even if a couple of computers go down, your data is still safe.
Wow.
To access it, you use a special key, and the network just reassembles all the fragments for you.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But what about the cost, though? Is it going to be, way more expensive than just using something like Google Drive?
That's the thing. It might not be.
Really?
Remember how users pay to store data and providers get those rewards for offering space?
Yeah.
Well, that creates competition. And that competition could actually drive prices down, even lower than those big centralized options.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a win-win in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. One thing that really stood out to me in those docs was the whole data ownership thing.
Yeah, that's huge.
We've just become so used to handing over all our data to these giant companies.
Right.
Why is this shift in ownership? Why is that such a big deal?
Well, think about it. Right now, your data basically belongs to them.
Yeah.
It lives on their servers. They control it. You're basically trusting them to be responsible with it.
Right.
But with DeNet, the user gets to decide. They choose where their data is stored, who can see it, what it's used for. It puts you back in control.
So it's kind of like taking back your digital life.
Exactly. That's a massive shift towards a more user-centric internet.
And I imagine there are a lot of people out there who really, really like that idea.
Absolutely, especially people who are, concerned about privacy, about how their data is being used.
Yeah.
And imagine being able to switch between different storage providers whenever you want, no problem.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing.
No more being locked into one platform.
Right, right. No more downloading everything and re-uploading.
Exactly.
So, okay, to recap, DeNet is decentralized. It's secure.
Mm-hmm.
It could be cheaper than what we're using now.
Yeah.
And this is the big one, it gives users control of their own data. Pretty amazing stuff.
It is. And it makes you wonder, what happens next? With DeNet and all these other decentralized technologies out there, what's the future of data storage going to look like?
Yeah.
What's the future of data ownership going to look like? I mean, is this the beginning of something truly different, like a better internet, a more user-focused internet?
A lot to think about.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.